All right, so the Chicago Bears actually play in London this Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And man, this is going to be what I thought was going to be an easy win, man. Unfortunately, it does not look that easy anymore. And we know the Jags just came off a big victory, actually their first victory of the season against the Indianapolis Colts with a score of 37-34. And the Bears also coming off a huge victory too against the Carolina Panthers. I believe that score was 36-10. So we absolutely dominated the Panthers in that game. But this game is in London, man. And it's kind of weird that this game counts as a home game for the Chicago Bears, technically on the schedule. But London and honestly the UK is really a lot of Jags fans. There's a lot of Jacksonville Jaguars fans over there, not so much Bears fans. So it's really a home game for the Jags. And I'm not sure why the NFL did that to us, knowing that there's a lot of Jags fans out there. But whatever the case is, man, honestly, it's not going to matter either way. We're still going to have Bears fans there because we're still pretty popular internationally. We're one of the more popular teams out there around the world. But just taking a look at the Jags team right here, we'll start off with the Jags offense. Starting off, obviously, with the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, who has not had a great season so far. Him and Doug Peterson, I guess, just have not been on the same page at all this season. And honestly, Doug Peterson could very well be on the hot seat if he's not already. But he could be canned this game if they don't win, if they don't beat the Bears. I mean, obviously, it's a tall task for them, but Trevor Lawrence hasn't had the best start to his I guess, fourth season he's in the league now because he was drafted back in 2021. So this will be his fourth season in. And then you've got Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby, who make up a good running back duo. Honestly, Tank Bigsby was a guy that I always liked coming out of college, but he didn't really show too much last year. But this year, man, and especially last game, went off. And man, this team could honestly, these running backs could honestly do some damage against us, as most running backs have had against us this year, unfortunately, because our run defense hasn't been that good. But for their receivers, they're not doing too bad either. Brian Thomas Jr., a very solid rookie, man, just doing absolutely amazing things over there. And then you got Christian Kirk, a solid number 2, and Gabe Davis, who honestly, it was kind of exposed for being just kind of like a one-trick pony in Jacksonville. But with the Bills, he was really good with Josh Allen. So far, though, he hasn't really done much. And then they have Evan Ingram also, but he is questionable. So we don't really know if he's going to play. But, I mean, if he does play, then I guess that adds another weapon to them. So they do have a pretty solid roster on offense. They just haven't been able to get going other than last game. And I know, the Colts just cannot win in Jacksonville for whatever reason. They literally have not won a game in Jacksonville since 2014. So I don't know what's up with them on that department. But taking a look at the Jags defense here, they got Josh Allen Hines on the D-line. They got actually a pretty solid D-line. So like I said, Josh Allen Hines there. Trayvon Walker, who is finally stepping up now. I believe he had 3.5 sacks last game, 2.5 or something like that, around that range. Trayvon Walker being that first overall pick. Obviously, we know that Aiden Hutchinson went second to the Lions. And honestly, I really wish they would have taken Aiden Hutchinson so we don't have to face him twice a year. But Trayvon Walker, dude, he's actually been doing pretty solid this year. And honestly, finally starting to, we always knew he was going to be a bit of a project, but finally stepping up, you love to see that for him. But the rest of their defense is terrible. I'm going to be honest with you. There's not really much to go off of, especially in the secondary. They are the worst secondary in football, and it is not even close, guys. As a matter of fact, I believe they are the only team so far to not have an interception yet. They're the only defense to not actually get a pick off any quarterback in the NFL in these past 5 weeks of football. So I guess when you take a look at that, you could either think either one as a glass half empty guy, like, oh, they're due for an interception, or a glass half full that we're just not going to throw an interception against them. Obviously, though, they're not a good pass defense, so I don't think it's going to be an issue with them. I still don't think they're going to get an interception against us, but Caleb is a rookie, so we'll see. And then taking a look at some Bears injuries right here, Jaquan Brisker and Tyreek Stevenson are unfortunately out for this game. And technically, Tyreek Stevenson is doubtful, but 99.9% of the time, that usually means the player's out. So I'm just going to assume that those two players are out for sure. Jaquan Brisker, I guess, suffered a concussion at the Panthers game with that hit he put on Panthers tight end Tommy Tremble that ended up being a fumble recovery for us. But he finished the game, so I don't really know why we didn't end up playing him. I don't know. Whatever concussion protocol is, that's probably the NFLPA doing that. Tevin Jenkins is also questionable as well. And then one more thing too, Terrell Smith, our backup corner on the outside, is also out this game. And so it wasn't really that big of a deal that he's been out for these past couple games, Terrell Smith that is. But now that we got a starter out, our backup is also out. Now we got to start either Jalen Jones or I don't even know who's even back there at that point. And then obviously for Jaquan Brisker's spot, you're looking at either Jonathan Owens or most likely Elijah Hicks. Neither of those guys I feel really comfortable with starting in this game. But, this team hasn't been that good. The Jags, that is. The Jags have not been that good. On offense, they've been okay, but not on defense. So I'm not, saying that we're going to lose now just because those two players are out. But it's still kind of an uphill battle for us. And then going on to my keys to win this game. And we're going to start off with some 4 keys right here. First off, we need to start off strong. Early touchdowns. Guys, we suck in the first quarter. I don't know what it is with Shane Waldron's play calling or whoever is in charge of planning for the first quarter, but we suck in the first quarter. First drive specifically, too. You can almost guarantee that we're going to punt the ball on our first drive. Not even a field goal. Can we at least do that? We need to start off strong against this team because this is honestly looking like a shootout. So, yeah, we need an early touchdown, an early field goal. We just need early points fast in order to not let the momentum build up for the other team. Then my second key to the game would be to attack their weak pass defense. Guys, I know most of the time you want to get the run going, and you can definitely run on this team too, but their weakness by far is their secondary. This should be a game where Caleb airs the ball out. He should at least be getting 250 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. He at least should be getting that, honestly. I mean, obviously the passing touchdown, we'll see, if they get to the 1-yard line, they'll just run it in. But for the passing yards, you should definitely be able to expose them. 250 passing yards for Caleb Williams. And then for my third key for the game, this is on defense now for the Bears. We need to clean up our run defense. Honestly, like last year, it's so weird because last year we were the best run defense in the league. And for some reason this year, we are just a liability. Like, it's not like the worst in the league or anything, but we're kind of like middle of the pack / below average. And if we look at even every week, there's been a running back that's kind of gone off against us. You look at Chuba Hubbard, you look at Tony Pollard back in week 1. You look at Jonathan Taylor, week 3, Kyron Williams in week 5. Man, like all these different teams to week 4 that is, but all these different teams have had running backs go off against us. The only one that didn't was Joe Mixon against the Texans, but he got hurt too. So we got to clean up our run defense, man, because if they do get the run game going with Tank Bigsby, who had a big game last game, and then Travis Etienne too, who's still a really solid running back, they could beat us actually. And then for my last key to the game, the pass rush needs to step up for this game, especially now more so than ever because of our depleted secondary. Now that we have 2 starters out in Jaquan Brisker and Tyreek Stevenson, we are going to need our pass rush to step up more and help out the guys who are replacing our starters because they can't be covering for more than 5 seconds because Trevor Lawrence will dot them up. Trevor Lawrence is not a bad quarterback per se. He's not the best, obviously, but he will still do some damage if you let him. But either way, guys, this is going to be more of a coin toss than I thought. However, though, I am still confident the Bears are going to pull this off with a win here. So I'm going to give the Bears a final score of 33-24. So it's going to be more of a higher scoring game. And, I think they do score more than 21 points against us just because we have some players out. But I do think because of the fact they also have a weak secondary and because Caleb Williams is progressing in the ways we like, it's going to be more of a shootout. So it should be a fun game to watch. Mind you guys, for those who are watching in America, which is most of us, and for me, especially in Chicago, this is going to be an 8:30 game, a very early game for us. So that's 9:30, Eastern, and then I don't know whatever time that is in Western. Man, any Bears fans in California, man, or whatever, you're going to have to wake up at like 5 in the morning to watch this game, which is terrible. But either way, man, I think the Bears win here. I don't think it's by as large of a margin as we would have had with Tyreek Stevenson and Jaquan Brisker, man, but a W nonetheless. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Bear down, I'm out.